The largest protest in American history might be happening tomorrow. Tomorrow on October 18th is the official second coming of the No Kings protest, following up the first No Kings protest back in June. There are more than 2,600 protests scheduled right now, with experts saying there may be even more. And as you can see, there are protests scheduled in every single state in America. Now, the original No Kings protest from June made it the third largest protest in American history, behind the Earth Day protests of 1970 and the George Floyd protest back in 2020. There's expected to be a ton of federal ICE agents at these protests, and nobody really knows how these might go.
Okay, another tip from a community organizer for the No Kings Day protest that is coming up. Besides showing up to protest, just know that once you are in that protest, you are also there to protect one another and to look out. So if violence does break out, usually at the hands of the police or federal agents, or if ICE will be there, just know you do have the legal right to film the police. What you cannot do is stand in the way of that, but we know that these folks lie. So if they tell you to step back, take a step back and say, I'm taking a step back if you are filming that footage. But you don't need to go like really, really far. Of course, do what makes you safe, but you have a constitutionally protected right to film the police.
I mean, the United States of America is never going to have a government overthrown by street protests, right? That's not going to happen here. But what is going to happen here is that you're going to have probably the largest protests ever in American history. You're probably going to have the largest single day of protest in modern American history this weekend. And that is going to just further crystallize, I think, the sense in the mind of every American that there are tons of Americans who do not like what Trump is doing. There are tons of Americans who will make time in their day to step out and do something about it and peacefully protest to show their disagreement. And it will show Trump the limits of what he's able to do in a country that really doesn't like what he's doing.
Is dead. But if I get elected president, I will bring it back. Bigger, better, stronger. 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 Bigger, better than ever before. Bigger, better, stronger. Bigger, better, stronger. Bigger, better, stronger. Bigger, better, stronger.
Okay, another safety tip from a community organizer and activist before the No Kings Day protest. So one thing that is more than likely to happen, and unfortunately, is that they will be making arrests. They are looking for any reason to make arrests. One tip that you can use to make sure that you're protecting yourself is to set up a safety net. So make sure that you are sharing your location with folks, although they may turn off the signals on the internet. Make sure you're telling someone where you're going, have a meetup spot with friends. Also have a number written on your arm in case you are arrested and taken into custody, that you have that one phone call that you can use that number to call a lawyer that you have set up, a friend who can call someone, someone who can make sure that your kids or your dog or whoever is at home is safe in case you are not going home that night. So make sure that you communicate clearly with folks before you go to say, these are the steps that I need to enact once I'm out, and if anything were to happen, stay safe.
Well, in case you are not aware, there is another No Kings protest across the country planned for this upcoming Saturday, October 18th. And if you plan to be in attendance, there are a couple things you should know. Number one, the Trump administration is circulating this idea that the No Kings protest is going to be a hotbed of Antifa activity. Antifa, if you don't know, stands for anti-fascist. And the Trump administration has designated them a terrorist organization. There's only one problem with that, though. Antifa is not a group. It's not a club. It has no members or membership. It's an ideology. You know what is a group, though? The KKK, the Klan, the Proud Boys, Turning Point USA, the Groypers. They're a group. But anyway, I digress. The fact that the Trump administration is going out of their way to designate Antifa as a terrorist organization, despite not being an organization at all, should tell you that they're using it as an umbrella term to harass and detain anyone they don't agree with. And the fact that the administration, like I said before, is trying to circulate this idea that the protest is going to be a hotbed for Antifa activity should let you know exactly the kind of timing they on. So if you're going to attend, here's some things you should probably do. Number one, do not bring your phone or any electronic device that can be tracked. No iPhone, no Fitbit, no Samsung, no Android, no Pixel, no Apple Watch, nothing. You're finna be out there like it's 1995. Don't bring nothing with you. If you absolutely must have it on your person, you are going to go on Amazon.com and buy what is known as a Faraday pouch. This is going to be a bag that you can carry with you, small bag, that will block any incoming and outgoing signals from any devices placed inside of it. Makes it that much harder to track. Second thing you're gonna do, right? If you're gonna be out there, do not be out there plain face. I know we all have disdain for these YNs, but they had the right idea with these shiesties. You're gonna get a shiesty and mask the fuck up. You feel what I'm saying to you? The name of the game here, right, is to restrict all the different ways you can be tracked simply by being present. Because trust me when I say, they will be tracking you. I also saw a video from Corn Pop about 2 hours ago talking about how they're going to be at this protest across the country doing retinal scans from afar. So go ahead, throw some glasses in there also. Again, the name of the game is to restrict all the different ways you can be identified from afar simply by being present at a protest you have every right to be at. Don't give these people any ammunition to hem you up. And last but not least, if you're going to go to this protest, keep your head on a fucking swivel, all right? There's going to be agitators. ICE is going to be present, I guarantee it. Do not tangle with these folks. Dip out at the first sign of trouble. I'm trying to tell you, because they're trying to use any and every incident that might pop off at any one of these protests across the country as justification to unleash the hounds, all right? So don't give them any reasons. Don't bring your phone. If you have to, bring a Faraday pouch, mask up, put the glasses on, and be safe. All right, take care.
Well, it's the eve before the protests. No Kings 2.0. Likely to be the largest protest in American history. And I just want people to remember that freedom of speech, peaceful protesting and dissent are a dictatorship's worst nightmare. And so remember, if they weren't afraid of us, they wouldn't be spreading lies and propaganda. Be safe, people.